Welcome to Shark Week on Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Snow Shark, Ancient Snow Beast. Everyone else is just chum.
Written and directed by Sam Qualiana, starring Sam Qualiana and Jackey Hall, Snow Shark is about three scientists who discover the ancient snow beast that swims through snow and attacks the local town. What do we like about this movie, guys? I like that they actually used some practical effects. They made a shark, and whether or not the shark was of quality, at least they tried. And that's impressive in of itself. They had a lot of gore, like a lot of blood that was spilling everywhere, so that was impressive too.
I like some of the camera angles that they tried to do. I mean, I think one of the shots they had a guy climb a tree and just like shoot down. You gotta give them props for trying.
And they did use a lot of cheap tricks with like people being buried in the snow for like half their torso being cut off. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is definitely a no to low budget film.
It was impressive what they pulled off, given that according to IMDb, it was a $7,000 budget. So, you know, they got a lot done with that budget.
This film did have some interesting characters in it. Cameron was probably my favorite.
Yeah, he was pretty solid. I thought a lot of the cheesy lines from Link were really funny because he was trying to be a badass when Cam was egging him on, and he just didn't deliver at all.
I know a thing or two about handling a weapon, Cameron. Just because I'm not an inbred like yourself doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing.
Some of the charm in this movie was that they weren't very good actors, so we did laugh a lot at the movie, not with the movie.
What didn't we like about this movie, guys?
I'm going to start something off with the cinematography. It is the way that they framed all the shots with the quick edits whenever the shark was attacking. It was way too confusing, and I get that they were just really trying to make that intense moment, but it wasn't well executed.
In general, the quality of this movie was subpar. It was pretty low budget.
You know, we can understand that it's low budget, so the quality's low, but like as soon as we pressed play, you're like, well, this movie's quality is shit.
And that's unfortunate,
Yeah.
and it's also kind of dubbed over.
I told you before, Gabe. No one's even claiming that animals are dying. They've simply vanished without a trace.
And you could tell that like these were obviously friends, non-actors that are just, or maybe people that are just starting out in acting. So they aren't experienced, and it's just kind of cringeworthy most times. Just the acting in general was not good.
The music, it would transition to the emotion it wanted you to feel, but it was ahead of where the actors were acting. So, you know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna feel sad soon because like the sad music came on. And it was really weird, and it was noticeable.
There was just way too many characters in this movie that weren't really explained well enough.
There's definitely a few scenes that just seemed useless for characters just to get killed, but the kills were never really on screen anyway with those characters, so they didn't need to be there.
It started off as a short, right? Sure, it could be cool. But then it's like, oh, we're gonna make a big boy movie, so we gotta get this to like 80 minutes. And so they're just like, well, we gotta add scene in until we get to the running time.
Even like when it came down to the editing, you can tell that a lot of scenes were kept on a lot longer than they needed to be, and they didn't transition well into each other. So if somebody talked, their complete line would be said, leave some space, and then on to the next guy and turn the camera. There was no J or L cuts, which is when you have like trailing audio or leading video to make it kind of smooth out. Like this one, this is poorly edited.
Yeah, even when they're hitting their cues, there was the scene where the Santa Claus mechanic was driving up to his shop. Like we could see him standing there waiting for the, okay, go. Like have the car out of frame pulling in so it looks smooth and real.
For a shark movie, you go into this kind of thing like hoping for a bunch of cool shark kills. And while a lot of people died, almost every single death was off screen. You're making a movie called Snow Shark and people are going in, yeah, let's see what's going on. We didn't really see the shark. We saw him like, I would say 50 frames total in the whole movie. Yeah. So like, it's really not in there. Despite the practical effects that they may have created, those shots were few and far between, and you don't see it for more than a second, so it's kind of useless.
For a movie, $7,000 isn't a lot, but at the same time, you feel like it's more than what you did.
The courthouse rental shouldn't have been like $6,000.
It's time for our final thoughts and ratings. This movie wasn't very enjoyable to watch. While I admire the fact that they went out and created their full-length movie, I didn't enjoy watching it. So I didn't feel the result of their labor or their effort was worth it. It's unfortunate. I don't wish them any ill or anything. It's just I didn't enjoy it and I can't recommend it. There wasn't anything that I can say, hey, at least go check out this one scene. There was none of that. So I'm going to give this 0.5 awkwardly exiting the scene out of 5.
This movie wasn't very good, and I don't think any of you will enjoy it. The acting wasn't there, the story wasn't there, there's a lot of dialogue with not a lot being said, and not a lot of shark for a shark movie. Not a lot of shark kills, not a lot of shark anything. In a movie called Snow Shark, Ancient Snow Beast. That sounds epic. The movie, not so epic. Don't watch it. I'm gonna give this movie 0.5 create a character, facial hair, sideburn, chin straps out of 5.
I agree with Trav and Jay. This really was not an enjoyable film to watch. There was way too much wrong with it, technically and story-based. The cinematography was not easy on the eyes. The editing was not easy on the eyes. The music was too leading as to what was happening. And the acting was just kind of awkward overall. And yes, we didn't get to see the snow shark. I wish we could have seen it on there longer, but for whatever reasons, you didn't do it, and we're not happy about it, and I don't think anyone else will be either. So that being said, I'm going to give this film 0.5 sad dads out of 5.
Don't forget to like this video regardless, and comment below with your thoughts if you've seen it. If you haven't, we found it on Xbox on Popcorn Flicks for free. So you can watch it right now if you want, but we don't recommend it. Stay tuned, we've got another episode of Shark Week coming up tomorrow for our conclusion of Shark Week. It's a little better. I hope. Thanks for watching, guys.